What happens to the American desert when thousands of beavers are released there? Welcome everyone to the latest episode of Top Secret. On one side lies a withered field, silent to the point of desolation. On the other side lies a lush, vibrant paradise brimming with life. What could have created such an astonishing, almost unbelievable difference? Be surprised by the answer. It was beavers, nature, architects. But that was only the beginning of a story with even more surprises ahead. Are you curious to uncover some fascinating secrets? Let's get started right away. Beavers and their role in shaping ecosystems. In the 21st century, it's hard to imagine that creatures like beavers were once the primary agents shaping natural landscapes, rather than the modern technologies we have today. Land of the Beavers. In 1805, while surveying the Missouri River Basin, explorers discovered thousands of beaver dams. These dams store approximately 250 million cubic meters of water, enough to flood a vast area equivalent in size to major provinces in Region H. Beavers were once widely distributed across North America, ranging from northern Mexico to the Arctic coastal plains of Alaska and Canada. The alluvial deposits they create not only help retain sediment but also form fertile land, enriching the ecosystem. At that time, wetlands covered nearly 9% of the North American continent, forming an ecosystem of paramount importance to the entire region. Ever since humans appeared, everything began to change. In the 17th century, hunters from New England rapidly expanded their operations westward, primarily to hunt beavers for their fur. By 1843, naturalist John James Audubon observed that the Missouri region had become desolate and wild. Most of the beavers were wiped out, causing rivers and streams to change dramatically. When beavers disappeared, the streams and rivers gradually eroded, forming deep gullies. Floods in the delta now occur less frequently, and groundwater is no longer replenished, leaving countless streams parched. The ecosystem is severely deteriorating, and humans are the primary cause of this change. Before the Gold Rush era, North America witnessed a highly prosperous period of fur trapping and trading. The thick, warm fur of the North American beaver was widely hunted, becoming a highly valuable trade commodity, even used as a form of currency for exchanging goods. Secretions from the beaver's scent glands are not only used in the perfume industry but also applied in cuisine. This nearly drove beavers to extinction in the early 20th century. When the beaver population declined to only about 100,000 individuals, equivalent to 1% of their peak numbers, various recovery measures were implemented. However, releasing them back into the wild isn't always smooth sailing. Beavers are perhaps one of the rare animals that know how to build a home to live in. They build dams to create deep water areas, hoping to stay away from predators like foxes, lynxes, and weasels. Their presence not only benefits themselves but also profoundly impacts the entire surrounding environment. Susie Creek is a small creek located in the state of Nevada, USA. By the late 1980s, this place was just a small stream, surrounded by bare, eroded cliffs without a trace of life. But when the beaver returned, everything had changed. Lush green grass grows thick, weeping willows cast dense shadows, birds sing cheerfully, salmon swim gracefully, and many other animals gradually appear. Notably, the water in the stream rose, flooding the surrounding area and providing significant benefits for local livestock farmers. Beavers are not just a part of nature, they are the key to restoring entire ecosystems. Beavers and their amazing water dams. The idea behind beaver dams is simple. They block the flow of water, retain the necessary amount, and in doing so, spread life to the surrounding environment. Dams are often built by stacking neatly cut branches on top of each other. The stagnant water forms ponds, seeping deep into the earth like a giant sponge, replenishing groundwater and transforming arid lands into vibrant, life-filled places. Even during drought years, the creeks maintain their flow, ensuring a stable water supply for animals and plants. From the satellite's high vantage point, the transformation appears truly impressive and spectacular. The drought-resistant lands have transformed into lush green vegetation, expanding by dozens of hectares. The water surface has also expanded by several hectares, and the streams have grown kilometers longer. All thanks to the diligent efforts of the hard-working beaver engineers who never stop working. In eastern Utah, where there were once only scrubby grasslands and barren rocky hills, a lush green oasis has now sprung up along the Bryce River. This didn't happen naturally. The beavers were brought in to revive this land, despite the major challenges posed by water scarcity. Here are the 2 translation options as requested. These beavers were carefully selected, quarantined for several days to prevent disease, and microchipped for tracking. After being released back into the wild, they began building dams, gradually altering the surrounding ecosystem. The trees sprouted fresh buds, the animals returned one by one, and the Bryce River suddenly brimmed with an unprecedented vitality. Relocating beavers presents many challenges. In particular, moving these animals is far from simple. This process involves a lot of cumbersome procedures, from obtaining permits to ensuring that all landowners within a several-kilometer radius must agree. Even if just one person objects, the project must stop immediately. Beavers are also highly territorial animals. They struggle to adapt to new environments if they feel unsuitable. Therefore, the relocation team must choose the right time, move the entire beaver family at once, and arrange the settlement area within the same river basin. However, dealing with beavers is sometimes simpler than navigating administrative hurdles. Beavers not only build dams to survive but also play a vital role in ecosystem restoration. The beaver-created pond can hold up to over 3 million liters of water. A significant portion of this water seeps into the ground, directly replenishing the groundwater supply. In the dry season, that water is as precious as treasure, sustaining life for the entire ecosystem. Moreover, the wetland formed by the beaver dam acts as a large-scale water filtration system. When water seeps into the aquifer, the natural filtration process removes pollutants such as nitrogen and phosphorus, making the water cleaner. This is precisely why scientists compare this region to the kidneys of the river system, as it helps purify and ensure safe water flow for both humans and nature. Native Americans thousands of years ago were well aware of the value of the beaver, a wisdom that the ancients once encapsulated. Today, science is gradually rediscovering what our ancestors have long known. Beavers are not merely animals, they are also nature's skilled architects, playing a vital role in sustaining and restoring life on Earth. They create favorable conditions for microorganisms to thrive, attracting countless insects, migratory birds, and many other animal species. Numerous studies have shown that these ponds play an extremely vital role in the ecosystem, significantly contributing to the increase in local biodiversity of both animal and plant species. When beavers appear, the local vegetation thrives, leading to a significant increase in the number of birds, fish, and even species like brook eels and muskrats. Notably, beavers have the remarkable ability to skillfully modify their habitats. They often prioritize cutting down broad-leaved trees over conifers, sometimes creating unique, cool green belts around the lake. No one expected that the ponds and dams built by beavers could actually help reduce the devastation of wildfires. Thanks to the consistently moist vegetation around these areas, the flames struggled to spread. A prime example occurred in Idaho in 2023, when areas with beaver dams served as effective shields, protecting the local ecosystem from a severe wildfire. Beaver-built dams cost far less than artificial concrete dams. With just a few million dong instead of spending billions per kilometer, we can restore a section of a river or stream. The amazing thing is that beavers do this work entirely for free. They simply live by their natural instincts. Beavers are important allies in the fight against climate change. They not only help slow water flow, keeping streams fuller for longer, but also preserve habitats for fish and plants. When groundwater levels rise, the grasslands become greener, providing greater benefits for livestock herds. States in the U.S. such as Utah, Oregon, and California have already begun to see this clear effect and are now actively promoting the reintroduction of beavers into their natural habitats. A remarkable success story in Scott Valley, California. The area had become dry and barren after the beavers disappeared. Thanks to human intervention, beaver dam mimicking structures have been built. With just a few willow branches and logs driven straight into a woven net of dried twigs, the shallow streams gradually came back to life. Before long, a beaver colony found its way here to settle and further reinforced the structure, turning the place into a lush, shaded oasis. Despite their many benefits, beavers are often considered pests in some areas because they cause flooding and damage trees. Local residents and businesses occasionally trap or eliminate them to minimize damage. This poses a significant challenge. how to strike a balance between protecting the ecosystem and meeting human livelihood needs. Environmental engineers. Beavers often choose elevated areas with gentle slopes to build their nests and dams. This is an ideal environment that allows them to easily control the water flow. However, these areas are often located near densely populated neighborhoods, leading to conflicts between residents and beavers. They are seen as a nuisance for causing floods or cutting down valuable streamside trees. A harmonious coexistence solution between humans and beavers. Instead of resorting to extermination methods, we can fully choose various humane options to protect property and greenery while ensuring the safety of the natural ecosystem. One of the simplest and most common methods is to wrap metal mesh around the tree trunk. This approach not only prevents beavers from gnawing on the branches but also ensures no harm comes to them. Additionally, erecting protective fences around areas with trees or important assets is also an effective solution. Another common method is to use a specialized paint that irritates beavers, making them less likely to gnaw on trees. These methods are not only highly effective but also create conditions for humans and beavers to coexist harmoniously, protecting property without resorting to negative measures such as killing them. Although beavers may sometimes cause some trouble, we cannot deny their immense contributions to the ecosystem and the community. A prime example is in Devon, England, where beavers have been reintroduced into the wild after decades of hunting pushed them to the brink of extinction. After just 5 years, studies have confirmed that beavers not only contribute to ecosystem restoration but also significantly improve the habitat of the entire area. The once arid lands, parched by drought, have now revived into lush green oases, with thriving vegetation even during the harshest, scorching summers. This demonstrates that the beaver's ability to rehabilitate and enhance soil quality is truly remarkable. Not only do beavers contribute to improving the living environment, but they also play a crucial role in preventing wildfires. The dams they built created wetlands, helping to maintain soil moisture and reduce the risk of widespread wildfires during the hot summer months. This helps protect forests and the wildlife within them from the threat of dangerous wildfires. Additionally, in some areas, beavers also play a significant role in flood prevention. A prime example is the town of Pickering in England, where a nearly 70-meter-long dam built by beavers helped safeguard 7,000 residents from major floods during the rainy season. This not only helps protect property but also ensures the safety of people during extreme weather events. It is impossible to deny the immense contributions of the beaver in environmental protection and community building. Evidence shows they can become wonderful companions for humans if given a suitable living environment and proper protection. The creativity and vital role of beavers in ecosystem restoration. Here are the 2 natural English translations for your Vietnamese text. They don't just build dams, they transform the areas they develop into rich and diverse ecosystems. These structures not only benefit beavers but also have a positive impact on other species of flora and fauna. For example, beaver-built dams create wetlands, forming an ideal habitat for birds, insects, and plants to thrive. This is an ideal habitat for many species, while also contributing to the conservation of natural biodiversity. However, to maximize the benefits of beavers, humans need to actively manage and sustainably conserve them. Monitoring and controlling beaver populations and their construction activities will help maintain their habitat without becoming a nuisance, while instead turning them into a valuable resource for the ecosystem. This means we need to maintain a balanced relationship with beavers, not only for human benefit but also to protect nature and other animal species. The story of the beaver is a profound reminder of living in harmony with nature. Rather than seeing them as a nuisance, we can fully transform them into an opportunity to restore ecosystems and contribute to solving environmental issues. We can learn from beavers their ability to adapt flexibly and their creativity in building sustainable habitats, not only for themselves but also for the benefit of the entire ecosystem. A prime example showcasing the benefits of beavers in environmental restoration is when authorities lacked the budget to build costly flood control levees, so they opted for a nature-based solution. Organizations such as Natural England and the North York Moors National Park Authority have reintroduced beavers into the wild. Since their return, things have changed significantly. The beaver began carrying branches and mud down to the river, using them to build natural dams to regulate the water flow. Before long, the small town was free from the threat of flooding. This demonstrates that natural solutions from beavers not only contribute to environmental protection but also reduce disaster risks and save costs compared to artificial measures. Giant Beaver Dam in Canada. Beavers impress not only with their construction skills in the UK but also showcase remarkable talent in Canada. A beaver family living in Wood Buffalo National Park has built a massive dam, stretching over 850 meters, twice the size of the famous Hoover Dam in the US. This dam is not only massive in scale but also so impressive that it can be seen from satellites, truly a magnificent natural wonder. According to studies, this dam has existed since the 1970s. What's remarkable is that the area is almost entirely devoid of human presence, as it lies deep within a pristine forest, rarely visited by anyone. This turns the dam into a magnificent natural masterpiece, one that few have the chance to witness. However, Rob Mark, an American explorer, decided to conquer the arduous journey to reach this massive dam. First, you must row a boat across Lake Claire, then trek 16 kilometers through dense swamps with towering reeds and thousands of buzzing mosquitoes swarming around you. Despite countless hardships, he persevered without giving up, determined to go all the way and witness that miracle with his own eyes. Upon arrival, before him stood a massive dam towering amidst the majestic natural landscape, yet there was no warm welcome as he had once anticipated. Mr. Beaver seemed unaccustomed to human presence and clearly showed his annoyance. The beast swung its massive tail violently against the water's surface, creating thunderous sounds as a warning that humans were forbidden to trespass into their territory. Though a bit surprised and even feeling somewhat tactfully dismissed, Rob Mark couldn't really blame Mr. Beaver. If you were in my shoes, you wouldn't be too pleased either if an uninvited guest showed up at your home unannounced. In England, some environmental groups have secretly released beavers into the wild in areas such as Devon, Somerset, and Windside, despite this action being against the law. They acted this way because they believed that restoring the beaver population would not only bring sustainable benefits to the ecosystem but also serve as a practical solution to increasingly severe environmental problems. Although this may lead to some consequences such as the risk of flooding or widespread disease, environmentalists assert that the benefits brought by beavers will outweigh those risks. Beavers play a crucial role in stabilizing water flow during the dry season and controlling floods through their natural dam systems. They also help prevent wildfires by creating wetlands, thereby reducing the risk of fires. The authorities continue to express concerns about this issue, fearing that the presence of beavers could lead to significant, uncontrollable changes in the ecosystem. However, activists remain adamant that reintroducing beavers to their natural habitat is a far more cost-effective solution than spending millions of dollars on artificial structures to address these issues. The debate over beavers between farmers and environmental activists still shows no sign of resolution. Many farmers fear that environmental changes could negatively affect their crops, while environmental activists assert that beavers play a crucial role in restoring ecological balance. No matter the outcome, time will provide the answer, and nature will surely acknowledge those efforts. Engineers, thank you for watching the video until the end. See you next time.